WMMS.
Guardians playing a little bit early tonight. 6:10 is the first pitch. That is the second of three against the Twins. Guardians went down hard last night. Around the corner, 20-6 was the final. But 6:10 tonight. We'll roll out a bit early. Get you into Gesundheit.
My goodness, thank you.
Get you into Guardians Twins here on the Buzzard. If you are watching the show live at AlanCoxShow.com, thanks. You can also thank Hundy Dippy Dunk for helping out back there in the video department. Thank you so much for your assistance. I've been getting a lot of questions about the Cox Out pre-games. And it also comes with a bit of bad news, by the way. You want the bad news first or the good news first?
Bad news first.
Bad news first is I heard from Al Marcinek, and he said that Terry is in ill health.
Oh, no.
Terry the Goat out there at Marcinek Farms. Al is our bureau chief in Carlton, Pennsylvania. And for 5 or 6 seasons now, Terry the Goat has picked our games week to week. Browns game. Well, sometimes Browns games, but on average gives us about 10 picks per week. And then we go through Terry the Goat's picks. And people have been asking me, hey, is Terry the Goat going to pick games again this season? And I didn't know what to say to them. And then I heard from Al this morning that Terry's been sick the past few weeks, and I don't know if she'll be up to this season. I'll let you know if she gets better. Maybe we can bring her daughter, Mare,
I say she gave me my first kid.
to fill in for her if she doesn't feel up to it. So that's Al Marcinek out there in Carlton, Pennsylvania, who's been kind enough to offer up Terry's abilities these past few NFL seasons. That's the bad news. Now, the good news is the Cox Outs are going to happen, except I am completely changing them.
Oh.
Right.
I'm flipping them completely on their head.
You meet at a Burger King of your choice.
That's right. I will buy you those chicken fries. No, as long as we've been doing Cox Outs, we've been doing them downtown. And I thought, there's a lot of people who don't come downtown on game day. So I said, let's go out and hang out with some people.
Didn't you kind of do this one year, like the COVID year? I thought they were...
COVID year, yeah, we did. And I had a great time because I got to places I wouldn't normally get. So the Cox Outs, and again, when I say I'm completely changing them, I'm completely changing them. The Cox Outs now are going to be in the burbs for away games.
All right.
So we've done 7 or 8 years of Cox Outs downtown, and so I'll have details for you. Now, there are only 6 away games because I ain't doing one on Christmas Eve.
Oh, you're not even committed.
I've done every Christmas Eve in years past. I'm done. I'm done with Christmas Eve. So we're going to be out in the burbs, and it's going to be for away games. Now, the first one is Monday Night Football on the 18th. So I'll haul ass out of here, and I'll get to where we're going to be. But so for people asking me, because I've had people go, hey, I haven't lived in Cleveland in 5 or 6 years. I'm moving back. Are you still doing Cox Out? Yes, I am. But I will have those details for you soon. But we're moving out of downtown, and it's going to be for away games. So we can watch the games together. Which
so it's not a pregame thing. You're there for the game.
Yeah, I mean, I'll still be there, but I don't know exactly what times. I got to hammer that out.
Okay.
But the broad strokes are, I'm going to see you maybe somewhere out in your neighborhood.
It's going to change every week? Or can you not say that?
No, I don't know. I think it's going to be 2 or 3 places that will rotate.
Got it.
So not different every week, no.
First one's at mine and Brian's house. You guys come on out. It's going to be super fun.
Do you like to live and or laugh and or love?
Oh.
Because do you like to breathe? Do you like to eat?
Babe, listen.
Dine.
We just dropped
fork.
We dropped coin on fall decor, so it is
Did you
going to
really?
be an explosion.
Did you go to the at-home store? Where
we
did you
went
go?
to Old Time Pottery.
Oh,
and
right.
then we also
Yeah.
had a bunch of stuff left over. Like from my apartment, things he's had. So we're really getting a good little
You have
collection
giant
going.
plastic tubs,
Yeah, we got
gasket tubs full of fall decor.
Two plastic tubs and then 2 boxes of pillows.
Yeah.
But we're ready for that first Cox Out pregame.
Which will probably be
It's
that'll
at our
be
house.
well. It's gonna
September 18th is the
Yeah.
first Cox Out.
18th.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
Monday Night
the
Football.
Monday Night Football. Yeah.
Yep. So
Prime
that's
time.
those are the broad strokes. I just want to let everybody know. Because
Cox out at night.
Yeah.
Hey!
Everybody been hitting me up, and I said, yes, we are going to do it. I will have full details for you very, very soon. But with that is the fact that we might not have Terry the Goat picking our... And again, she has already given us years of service. And so, most importantly, we'd like her to get better. Now, provided she does, right back at it.
Back to work, goat.
Picking games, right? So I can input them on my FanDuel. Because the way I do FanDuel, we were in Michigan all weekend, and they have things on FanDuel in Michigan that we don't have here in Ohio. Play casino games in Michigan. We don't have casino games on FanDuel here in Ohio. So my thing is, I double my money and then I cash out. And that's what I did. So if Terry can get around to picking games for us again, that's what I'll do. I just input her picks, and I'm good to go. I do what the goat tells me to do. But as of now, we may not be able to avail ourselves of her services this year. If you listen to us on iHeartRadio, tell me where you do that. You can drop us messages there. You can also leave us voicemails. Got a lot of those over the holiday weekend. A lot of people reverting back to using it as the drunk dial line, which is fine. I won't bore you with those. But thank you to everybody who left messages over the holiday weekend. That number, whenever you want to use it, is 216-986-8903.
Alan Kent, listening to Mary talk about her family weekend. I'm with you. I came from a non-yelling, kind of non-drama family. So I feel bad for Mary that everything is kind of filled with this, but I also think it's crazy that she keeps putting herself in these situations, kind of looking for a different result. I think she needs to go to Family Drama Anonymous and become sober from her family for a little while and just hit a hard reset button. I'm not a therapist. I didn't go to college, but I listened to the show for a long time, so I feel like I am qualified to give this advice. Okay,
I agree with him
me.
on that.
Love you. Bye.
Love me, love you, bye.
Bye.
Even Caleb's telling you what to do. You
Listen,
can't get away from it, Mary.
I'm not going to Drama
Everybody's
Anonymous.
telling you what to do.
Family Drama Anonymous is not going to happen. But here's the thing.
Right.
If this weekend wasn't yelling and screaming. This was actually productive. This was like hey, here's a boundary we're setting and we need you to respect it.
You lay down the law.
Yeah. And then it was fine after that, But
But it took 2 days to get there.
it did take 2 days to get there. But also, here's the thing. Here's why I think we do it is because everyone has kids. There's a lot of kids, right? We don't get to see our extended family very often. So we're like, oh, the cousins can all make memory. I remember going and hanging out with my cousins for a weekend or going camping. Like, that's some of the best times you have,
And I didn't have cousins. So that probably
Yeah.
contributed to why there wasn't a lot of yelling and screaming.
Well, and that's just part of it, though.
Yeah.
Is when you put in my family, even the little kids included, there are a ton of very big personalities, and they just clash.
Yeah.
So it's either we don't get the kids together to have fun, and we don't get together and have fun.
Yeah, you can't avoid
You know,
everybody.
yeah.
But also, like, big personalities is one thing, but it sounds like there's a lot of bullies. It seems
It's
like,
not bullies.
but
People are stubborn.
but that's not a good thing. That's not a good trait.
Well, I'm not saying that it is,
Right,
but I'm
but-
saying when you
But
have.
like that's like I feel like I have a big personality, but I'm not going to be irrational and unreasonable in a situation just because I don't want to be wrong.
Well, it's not even that. And I think you're misusing, maybe I'm not using the word big personality right. Like, everyone in my family is very blunt, very honest, and not afraid to speak their mind. So but we do have a really good time too.
It doesn't.
But if they
sound like
disagree
it.
with you, there is zero hesitation
So
for
they have
someone
no
in my
couth.
family to just spit out, I don't like what you just said, or I don't like what you're doing.
So no one has any couth. No one has any tact.
No, but also
we don't need it. Like, what do you need it for? If
this
you
is
don't
what my take on the whole thing is. Even though you guys always get into something, you kind of know where everybody's coming from, so it's not like everybody's going to walk away.
It's not a shock.
Pissed and never talking to each other again.
Right.
It's just this sounds like a conversation that was a long time coming and needed to be had.
Yeah, this is not like when we went to our family trip in Michigan last summer and I cussed my brother out and we didn't speak the rest of the time. Like, that wasn't this, you know?
Right.
This was just like a clear boundary needed to be set on letting Brian and I figure out our parenting situation on our own, you know? Because it is a good time. And everyone, I'm not going to come out here and is that fun radio? Hey, guys, we had a great time. Everybody kissed and we're family. Like,
Everybody kissed. Oh, yeah.
The drama stuff is what people want to hear, I feel like, unless you want to hear about the fun times we had at the lake and the kids being
funny
hear,
stories too.
Yeah, we want to hear what happened. It doesn't have to be. We don't contrive things around here.
Oh, we went to a cave and the water was dried up and there was barely a waterfall. Wow.
Okay. I like
Damn
Cave.
climate change.
Ash Cave in Hocking Hills, Ohio.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Oh, you did actually go to a cave.
Yeah, well, it's not really a cave so much as like a cavern. Ash Cave. It's like a big, giant, just like slab almost with an overhang.
We're going to Louisville in October. I'm hoping to come back with some cave stories.
I have the caves come to me.
Oh my God, Brian. Every time I want to yell at you, I call you Brian.
Listener Bill's talking about vaginas.
Yes.
For those of you, he'll be in Cincinnati this weekend, everybody.
That's right.
And go bananas.
Get your tickets. Go bananascomedy.com.
That's right.
Gotta my pool table refelted, so I need you to come out.
Alan, how did you not have any cousins growing up? Because my mom had one brother who never had kids, and we didn't know my dad's side of the family. So, do I have physical cousins? Yes. Have I ever met them? No. So, these weren't people that anytime there was like a family reunion, it was my mom's extended family. And so I think I had a couple of like
second cousin.
That we had one girl who was like a year younger than me, but we saw her like once every 5 years. So like growing up, when I had friends who were like, I was hanging out with my cousin this weekend. I'm like, that sounds so cool. And that's why I'm so happy that like my kids have cousins.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome.
Well, and that's why we continue to get together, because it is a lot of kids and it's a lot of cousins and they have a blast. They have bickering and all that aside, you know, they're having a good time.
We had
and down the line, none of them are going to remember a weekend like this where they're like, oh, remember when we were 7 and you were screaming? Like, nobody remembers that.
No,
they don't remember anything until they're like 10 and they go, remember when we cut that frog in half?
That's not true.
Huh?
If something's embarrassing that they want to hold over your head, they'll remember that for life.
In your family, maybe. Not everyone is like that. Not everyone's looking for dirt on someone.
My kids, when we all get together, one of their favorite things to do is just remember all the embarrassing moments from
but it's
our
silly.
trips
It's
and
stuff.
It's
but that's not holding it over someone's head. That's just reminiscing.
Yeah, reminiscing. But like but in the moment, it was like, this is the worst thing's ever happened, and now it's funny because time's passed.
Like, I remember I dared to try and take on, like, I tried to dress myself. It was like, I was real young. Well, maybe I was like,
what, were you 30, almost 31 years old?
I was like maybe like 12 or something like that. And my mom wasn't laying out my clothes for school anymore. And I had this green tracksuit and I had blue Timberlands, and I thought I would experiment with that. And I stood at the bus stop, and just before I even got on the bus, I heard everyone, like roasted me, and I got on the bus, and still to this day, people, I went to, a funeral not too long ago, and I ran into one of my old childhood friends. They grew up on my block, and he's like, I still remember you in that green tracksuit and those blue Timberlands. I'm like, why is that the first thing you go to? We're friends on Facebook. I've made such accomplishments since then, but blue Timberlands and green tracksuit.
What you're known for now.
Yeah, nobody ever wants to give you high fives for cool stuff you did. I threw up in class in kindergarten, and people were still talking to me about it in high school.
Remember the time you puked?
Yeah, I was in middle school, like, kids would see me in the hall and go, I was the puke in class kid through 8th grade.
Well, it's better than being the dumping class kid. There's a kid.
Yeah, but it's what's the difference? Like if you took a dump in class, or you know,
or the girl that fell down.
I also
Well-
dropped my pants in class too, and people gave me a hard time for that.
Well, that sounds.
I was a thing, in school.
I remember. Well, there's a kid, and I won't say his first name, but to try and keep it a little bit anonymous. But his last name played into the fact that he pooped his pants because his last name was Skidmore, and that.
Oh, no. Why does it always happen to someone like that? That sucks.
So sorry, bud.
Like you get a rhyming name.
Yeah. Well, just like skids and poop, and like it was just like, oh man, people went. He never lived that down.
Yeah, my name's Cox, and I dropped my pants.
Okay, well,
in the 3rd grade.
I used to get
Like,
Cody Brown
underwear down.
Underwear down.
Like,
there was
what,
a girl.
like helicoptering?
There was a girl I liked who dared me to go into the closet in the back of the classroom. You know, all the doors where you'd pull one and they'd all kind of fit into each other, right? And she goes, I bet you won't go back there and pull your pants down. I go, I bet I will. And I thought like she liked me or whatever. So I went back there and pulled my pants down, and she opened the doors. And there I was, flapping in the breeze for everybody to see. My garanimals at my ankles. And so if I had any notions of getting rid of the puke stigma, they were washed away by having dropped my pants in the 3rd grade. AC projectile puker. It wasn't projectile. It was just on my on the top of my desk. I had a little bubble gut, and about a half a second after I raised my hand to alert my teacher, it all came out.
I wet my bed, or what? I wet the bed. That's a whole other thing. But that's I peed my pants in kindergarten, and I was wearing corduroy pants, and my mom and dad were out of town, so my grandma was staying with me, and they're like, "What's your grandma's name?" I'm like, Jerry. Their name's Geraldine, and they call. I'm like, I think that's her name. I don't know. I call her Grandma.
Yeah,
I call her Grandma. And they're like, do you know her phone number? I'm like, I don't even know where she lives.
Right.
I just know she is at our house. I think sometimes when my parents are out of town.
Yeah,
like,
I get taken to her house.
Yeah.
I don't know her address.
I remember that.
Well, she was staying with us, but like during the day, she wasn't there because nobody was, or she was out running errands with my younger brother, or baby sister or something. I don't know. But
Pee-pee's what I like to do. Pee-pee poo, pee-pee poo, poo-poo. I like to do too. Poo-poo, pee-pee poo. Poo-poo, pee-pee poo, poo-pee, pee-pee, pee-poo, poo-poo. Oh, pee-pee's what I like to do. Pee-pee poo, pee-pee poo, poo-poo. I like to do too. Poo-poo, pee-pee poo.
But my one buddy was in Catholic school, and they got out a little bit earlier, so he would come over to our school and walk home with us. And that day he had ridden his bike and he had pegs on it. So I got to ride on his pegs, and he's like, I'll get you out of here, man.
I got you, buddy.
It's like Escape from Alcatraz.
Yeah.
I remember I told one of the office people that I was like, oh, if you need to call my aunt or something, she's speed dial 5. And they thought it was hilarious. And I didn't understand it, but now I understand.
Why is that funny?
It's not speed dial on every phone.
Yeah, she was
speed dial on his phone.
I see.
I said, if you need, he said, do you know your? Because I think my mom was probably asleep or something. So they were like, your next of contact was like my mom's sister. I was like, do you know your aunt's number? I said, she's speed dial 5. And they started. The lady cracked up. The principal cracked up.
That's
everyone
hilarious.
cracked up.
I remember,
you piece of crap.
I remember I didn't know what an answering machine was. And I called from my friend's house, and my mom kept picking up the phone going, hi, you've reached the Squire residence. Please leave a message. And I kept screaming like, Mom, what are you doing?
She probably thought something was wrong with you with all the voice, with the messages
Yeah.
she left.
She was like playing. She's like, what's going on? I'm like, I didn't know that there was a thing that could record you. It was 1988. I had no idea.
I got a break here. Hey, Perez Bilton is going to join us briefly for this week's Hot Celebrity Goss. Mary, if you didn't think it could get any better, Hot Celebrity Goss.
Yay.
On the way. And if you dig the band Asking Alexandria, they are coming to Cleveland to perform for you. It's going to happen September 19th at the Masonic Temple. I'll have those tickets for you after the break.
It's the Alan Cox Show. Everywhere on our free iHeart.